JavaScript offer several different array search methods, and a lot of them conveniently come in pairs. Some of them return the item, some of them return the index, and some of them return true and false. Because of a lot of these are very conveniently named, it really helps with learning and remembering what it is they do. We're going to use this array of planets for our examples. The first method we're going to use is indexOf. So we're going to use our planet array for this one. And let's say we want to find Earth. So what indexOf will be doing is searching the array, and the first instance of Earth will be what it logs to the console. So if we did console log, our answer would be 2, as it's the third item in the second index. Now, if we had another Earth in the array, it would still only show the first Earth in this example. However, there's another indexOf method in JavaScript, and that's the lastIndexOf. So let's have a look at an example here. So let's quickly add another Earth to our array. I'm just going to use the spread operator here and then add in another Earth. And then if we want to find the last index of Earth, so we've got 1 on the second index, and then we're going to have 1 on the 8th index as well. So what we want this to return is 8. So if we log this to the console, you can see the output is 8. Some array methods use a function, like an arrow function, because they don't know in advance how you want to process the array elements. The method needs you to tell it what to do with each item. The function you provide acts as instructions for the method to follow. For example, if we use the find method, I'm going to specify that I want it to find the first item with the length more than 6. So as you can see, straight away we got Mercury, which has got 7 characters. And if I log that to the console, we're going to find Mercury. So what find automatically does is just find the first instance of it. We're asking what specifically we want it to find. I can even say the first instance of a planet equaling 6. So that would be, so the first example of that will be Saturn. Now, as this isn't findIndex, it will return the actual item, which is Saturn. Now, the method that we pair with this is findIndex. So whereas find will return the item, find will return the item's index. So for our example, this looks very similar to the one we did for find. We're going to use findIndex to find the first instance of a planet with the length less than 5. So you can see here we got 7, we got 2 here that actually equal 5, which it won't return. And then we have Mars, which is our first planet that has 4. So the output for this will be the index of Mars, which is 3. Now, just like the one above, so because we're using arrow function, we can switch this around. So let's say we want the first one to equal 5. So if we log that to the console, our output will be 1, because the first one to equal 5 will be Venus. For our next example, we could also pair this with the previous two as well. We're doing a findLast method. So similar to find, but instead of finding the first instance of something, we are finding the last. So for this example, we're finding last long name planet. So the last instance of our planet with a length more than 6. So if we log this to the console, we will get Neptune. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that'll be our last instance of that. Similar to this, we could do our parameters and we can say the last one to equal 4. And if we log that to the console, we'll get Mars. It is the only one here that equals 4, but it's also the last one to equal 4 as well. So as well as find last, we also have findLastIndex. So similar to findLast, it will find the last item, but it will bring us the index of that item instead of the actual item itself. So for the example here, we are using arrow function as well, and we'll do planet's length, the last one with the length less than 6. So if we log that to the console, our output will be index 3, which is Mars. But again, just like the one above, we can change the inside here, and it will still bring us the last index of whatever we specify. So our next method is includes. So this is simply just going to tell us if what we're trying to find is in the array. As we're doing planets, I couldn't resist but use this example. Does the list of planets in our solar system include Pluto? False. So this method will give us a true or false. So we can also change this to for instance, earth, and it will return true when we log it to the console. For our next method, we're going to use the sum method. This one works a little bit different to the others, but it's still good for searching through an array. So the example we're going to use, we're just going to find the first planet that starts with a capital M. I feel like I've actually picked on Mars quite a lot, but we're going to keep doing it. So the way that sum works, it iterates through the array, stops and returns true once it has found what it's looking for. So it's not going to give us an index, it's not going to return Mars, it's just going to return true when we log it to the console. If the condition isn't met, so starts with P, we're going to pick on Pluto again, then it is going to return false to the console. This is good to use when you need a yes or no answer when you're looking for something in your array. Although these aren't paired similarly with their names, I guess they are very similar to each other and could be considered a pair. The way that every works is very similar to sum. It's going to go over the array and it's going to return true or false if the condition is met. However, where sum picks one item, every is going to see if every item in the array meets the condition. So the condition we've set, does every item in our array have a length less than 10? And I think the highest we got here is we've got 7 here, we got 7 again here, 7 again here. So yeah, none of them are over 10. So when we log this to the console, we're going to get true. Next is our filter method. What this does is creates an array with all elements that match the condition. It will also return an empty array if the condition isn't met by any of the elements. So the example that we're going to be using here is return an array of all the planets that have a length more than 5. So if we log this to the console, we're going to get Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So the way that filter works, it iterates through the entire array, adds each item that matches the condition to a new array, and it doesn't stop when it finds a match, unlike sum or find. That's it for today's lesson on search array methods in JavaScript. As you've seen, these are very powerful tools and can make working with arrays more efficient. If you want to check out my other videos on JavaScript, they should be popping up on the screen right now. Thank you for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please comment down below and let me know what you want to see next. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!